Yo, what's up, guys? So we're going to do a quick little live stream, and in this video, we're going to focus at least the first part of the live stream on ParlayPlay. So we got some plays looking pretty good on PrizePicks that I gave out, but we're going to focus on ParlayPlay, and this is a new platform. I know it's not as popular as PrizePicks, but we're going to start out on it. You can see I'm at 939 bucks a profit, like a 6% ROI. Nothing to write home about, but I'm basically going to explain very briefly why you want to have this platform. And then we're going to find some picks, and then we'll go into other sports books like PrizePicks, like Underdog Fantasy. So the first reason you want to have this platform is they have better payouts than PrizePicks, right? So I've said this in other videos, but if you look at ParlayPlay, we're going to explain everything you need to know about this platform. So if we make a little slip on ParlayPlay, you're going to see for a 6-pick entry, right? If you go 6 for 6 on both PrizePicks, ParlayPlay, you get a 25x payout. But if you go 5 for 6, you can see right here, PrizePicks only gives you a 2x payout, right? ParlayPlay gives you 2.5x. If you go 4 for 6, 0.5x payout. PrizePicks only gives you 0.4x. So ParlayPlay has better payouts than PrizePicks. Long story short, that's one reason you want to have this platform. Now, the second reason you want to have this platform is they run different promos than PrizePicks. So you're going to see right here, they have a reduced line special on Alyssa Thomas. They're bringing her assist line down from 7.5, which is what she's at on other sports books. So if we go here, we look at Alyssa Thomas. She's at 7.5 assists. ParlayPlay is giving us a discount to 5.5 assists. So that's the second reason, right? All these books run different promos. So you can use my refer friend code ALEXM. ParlayPlay has a $100 sign-up bonus. But regardless, more books means more promos you have access to. And you can see here, they also have every single day they run this promo. You can do it any single day. Let's say you wanted to take Demonos over 36.5 kills. Every single day, they let you bump the line in your favor. So if you want to take him to go over 36.5, you can get an extra point of value and bump his line down to 35.5. So every single day, this is called a slash line special. You can do this, right? So more books means more promos. I have PrizePicks, I have Underdog, I have ParlayPlay. More books you have, the better. Now, the final reason you want to have ParlayPlay is obviously they have different lines than PrizePicks. I've explained this in other videos, but you never know, which book is going to have value, is going to have profitable bets on a given day. Sometimes there's really good plays on PrizePicks. Sometimes there's really good plays on ParlayPlay. So we'll start out on ParlayPlay, and we can kind of run through some picks. We can look for some pretty good picks on ParlayPlay. So without further ado, let's kind of get into how I find my picks on this platform. So typically I start out on the Fantasy Optimizer. This tool is very simple. You can see, wow, dang, we got some college football receptions lines showing up. So you can see, for example, here's why you want to have multiple sports books. You go to college football, you look at Singer. His reception line is 4.5 on PrizePicks. His reception line is 5 on ParlayPlay. Right? If you want to make money getting these extra half receptions of value, right? This is only going to help you win more slips, make money long term. And all this tool is doing, the Fantasy Optimizer, is pointing out discrepancies in the market, pointing out, where PrizePicks and ParlayPlay have different lines from one another. And most plays on this platform aren't good, right? There's tens of thousands of lines you can bet at any given time. All these esports lines, WNBA. We're looking for those few spots of gold where there's actually value in the market, where ParlayPlay screwing up their line relative to another sports book. So we can go through some slips, and I'll weave in kind of, how I find value on ParlayPlay. So the first pick OddsJam's recommending, if we go to the sportsbook screen, is you're going to see it's Chelsea Gray. Let's start out here. So we definitely want to include this slash line special. So let's go to the top. And let's include this. We want to take Alyssa Thomas over 5.5 assists. And then you're going to see the next play it's recommending. Where is it? Is Chelsea Gray. It looks like it just got, well, no, it's still available. Perfect. So let's go to the WNBA. And then we want to look at player assists. That's the first play it's recommending is Chelsea Gray under an assist. Under in rebounds, I apologize. So let's go over to rebounds quickly and let's take a look at this line. So you can see ParlayPlay has this line at 4.5, right? Underdog Fantasy has the line lower at 4. FanDuel has the line at 3.5. And FanDuel, so ParlayPlay's at 4.5, Underdog at 4. FanDuel has the line at 3.5, and they have the under heavily favored, right? So this seems like a decent play to go with. On either, it's available on both PrizePicks and ParlayPlay. That's not always going to happen, but this seems like a decent play to go with, so we'll include that as our second pick, right? Another thing that you could do is you could middle bet this with FanDuel, right? You could go to FanDuel, and we're getting a little off track here, but we could go to FanDuel. We could take the over 3.5 rebounds, right, at plus 114. We could take the under 4.5 at minus 114 on ParlayPlay implied odds. And then if Chelsea Gray has exactly 4 rebounds, we're going to win both bets, right? So this is a really good play to go with. So we'll start out there. And I've explained this before, but I bet on tons of different sports, right? I will bet on literally any sport where I can find an edge. So you can see here, this play looks incredible. Taylor Heineke, right? You can see ParlayPlay. This is crazy, right? So you check out Underdog Fantasy. Let's reload Underdog Fantasy really quickly. We'll build a slip on ParlayPlay. I'm going to place a 6-pick entry. You can see Underdog Fantasy has Heineke's line at 136.5. ParlayPlay's all the way down at 110.5. So what you could do is you could take the over on ParlayPlay. You could take the under on Underdog Fantasy. That's a huge gap that OddsJam is pointing out to us, right? That's a 26-yard gap, right? So you take the under here, you take the over here, and if Taylor Heineke has 111 to 136 passing yards, you're going to win both bets. So we could do that, or we could just take the over on ParlayPlay, which, you know, we're going to start out on ParlayPlay, so I'll ignore Underdog Fantasy for now, although that does seem like a good pick to go with, right? PrizePicks has the line at 116.5, which granted is higher than ParlayPlay. So maybe we got to place an Underdog Fantasy slip real quick. So let's just go. Let's lock this in really quickly before the line moves. Again, great betting opportunities. They're not going to last forever. You can see this play looks incredible. This play looks incredible. So that's great. And then next play we can go to is Fate under 6.5, 7.5. So you're going to see this is also just from the Fantasy Optimizer, kind of bouncing around. But you're going to see the other sports books, ParlayPlay, JockMKT, they both have his line at 6.5. ParlayPlay, again, has his line at, or Underdog has his line at 7.5. We have 2 other data points telling us no, right? Sportsbooks that have invested millions of dollars in their ability to set lines, they're saying no, this line should be lower at 6.5. So getting under 7.5 seems pretty dang good. And then final pick we can go with is Croco under 5. Every other sportsbook has the line at 4.5. That seems pretty good. So we can go here. Unfortunately, on Underdog, you can't play players from the same game. So we can go to esports or CSGO. I apologize. Slight under 41.5. And this may look like the most random slip of all time, right? This slip, if you want to tail on Underdog Fantasy, here it is. It may look like the most random slip of all time, but all of these plays have value. Again, what's great about betting on esports on ParlayPlay or any other platform is there's just so many games on a daily basis, right? And these books are not good at managing their lines. So you're going to see Slight's line is 39.5 on PrizePicks. Underdog Fantasy has the line at 41.5. You know, you can see here. ParlayPlay has the line at 39.5 as well, so they're aligned with PrizePicks. And all these books, right? All these books, they've invested millions of dollars in their ability to set lines. You're not going to create a better model than PrizePicks, a billion-dollar company that has better data feeds. They're taking bets, moving around lines, hundreds of full-time employees watching their lines. You're not going to outmodel PrizePicks. The way you're going to beat these books is by finding these inefficiencies in the market. But anyways, went with this 3-pick entry on Underdog Fantasy. Back to ParlayPlay. So you may be thinking, okay, you just placed a 3-pick entry on Underdog Fantasy. Do you place 3-pick entries on ParlayPlay? And the answer is you should never place a 3-pick entry on ParlayPlay. You're going to see they're only giving you a 5x payout for these 3-pick entries. Whereas if we go to Underdog Fantasy, let's just take a look quickly. And again, some of these really good betting opportunities, they don't last forever. So you're going to want to move quickly. You're going to see Underdog Fantasy, they give you a 6x payout. You are betting 100 to win 600 on Underdog, whereas ParlayPlay, again, it's only 5x. So the number of picks you go with on each platform you sign up for really matters, right? You want to have as many of these books as possible. They all have different lines. Sometimes there's really good bets on Underdog Fantasy, like that play we just locked in. Sometimes there's really good bets on ParlayPlay. Sometimes there's really good promos, like right now on Alyssa Thomas on ParlayPlay. Sometimes there's really good promos on Underdog Fantasy. It kind of depends, on the day. But we're back on ParlayPlay, and what we can do is we can look for some plays. So let's check out this, Tiffany Hayes, and I'll kind of explain to you why I go with 6 pick entries on ParlayPlay. So what we can do is we can go back here to the sportsbook screen and we can look at WNBA player points. And again, all I'm trying to do is find 6 plays with an edge. No one knows the future. I can't tell you, the future. All I'm trying to do is find plays with an edge. So you can see here, this is clear as day, right? ParlayPlay has the line at 12.5. All the other sports books are saying no. This line should be higher at 13.5, right? Super Draft, PrizePicks, like Underdog Fantasy, all these books have her line at 13.5. ParlayPlay's at 12.5. As sharp bettors, we use all this information, and we're like, oh, ParlayPlay's asleep at the wheel. We want to take Tiffany Hayes over 12.5 points, right? So this pairs pretty well as well, right? We have Alyssa Thomas over in assists, so we're taking her teammate to go over in points. So if Alyssa Thomas goes over, hopefully Tiffany Hayes, she's passing the ball to Tiffany Hayes, just putting up points. So we now have 4 picks with an edge, and I want to find 2 more. And I'll explain to you in a bit why it's kind of optimal to place 6 pick entries on this platform. So if we go back to player rebounds, we can look at Sabrina. So you can see here, once again, clear value, right? All the other books have her line at 5.5 or 6.5 on FanDuel. ParlayPlay's at 5. So there's a lot of inefficiencies in the market right now. You can see ParlayPlay has a lot of good plays that are available. And I'll explain to you why I play 6 pick entries. So we now have a 5 pick entry and we need 1 more pick. So again, this fantasy optimizer is not doing anything complicated. All it's going to do is, point out value in the market to you, where sportsbooks are asleep at the wheel. So Alyssa Thomas, there's a good play on her under, but we already have her in this promo, so I'm not going to be able to bet that. So we can continue kind of looking through. Ezzy McBegor, under 8 rebounds. How do we feel about this play? This play seems insanely good too, right? ParlayPlay has her line at 8. You can just see that on the sportsbook screen. All the other books are at 7.5 or 7. We have all these data points, right? There's no need to overthink this. You have all these billion-dollar sports books, DraftKings, $10 billion company, that have invested millions of bucks in their ability to set lines. They're all telling you, yo, her line should be at 7.5. Underdog even has her line at 7. So you could potentially even middle this. Take the over on Underdog, the under on ParlayPlay. So if we go here, this will be our final play, and we'll lock it in. And again, they have better payouts than PrizePicks for these 6 pick entries. Or we could do the slide the line thing on Ezzy, right? But anyways, will they let us do both promos in the same play? So here, you can see we already have this slash line special on Alyssa Thomas, and then I can do the little slide the line feature. I already want to take Ezzy under 8 because all the other platforms, you can see right here, OddsJam's just pointing out the value in the market to us. All the other sports books have her line at 7.5, right? Or 7 on Underdog, so we can get that extra half point of value and get under 8.5. So let's try to bet this 6 pick insured entry for 20 bucks. Hopefully they take it. So they already moved the play on Sabrina. So some of these really good betting opportunities, again, they're not going to last forever, but I'm sure, again, we'll be able to find, some other play that we can go with. So how do we feel about this? Lanny under 11.5 points. So let's go here. We can look at her player points. Again, you can kind of just go down the list and pair stuff together. I just kind of like to explain with the sportsbook screen why I'm going with particular picks. So here you can see, most other books have the line at 11, SportsBattle and Underdog. FanDuel has the line all the way down at 10.5. So getting under 11.5 on ParlayPlay seems pretty good. So maybe this is the final play we go with. We want to take her under 11.5 points. And now we have a 6 pick entry. And let's lock it in for $20. So max bet size is $10. Okay, whatever. So I'll lock this in for 10 bucks. Tiffany Hayes line already moved. So again, this is the hard part Being a sharp sports bettor is some of these lines are moving. Maybe some of you are betting it. Who knows? I'm not exactly positive. But what we can do is we can take Sparta under 8. So here we have an esports play. And it seems like the most random slip. And you can see they already bumped him down to under 7.5. Maybe someone from ParlayPlay is watching this and I got to move quicker. So we have our Artemis under 15. There we go. So now you better not move. Place the bet. And I'm inserting. Now I have 2 promos inserted into the same slip. So this play is crazy good. We have the slash line special on Alyssa Thomas, 7.5 to 5.5 assists. And then we have the slide the line feature, bringing McBeggar's line from 8 to 8.5. So 2 of these plays have insane value, right? And we placed a 6-pick entry. Okay, so cool. And you can go back and kind of take a look if you want to see the full slip. Where is it? So here it is. Here's the full slip for anyone who wants to take a look. It's this one right here. Okay, cool. So now let's explain why we go with 6-pick entries. So I have this little spreadsheet here that kind of breaks down the math. So I'll actually just share this. Or I'll have to figure this out. I'll share this after the video. But basically it's pretty simple, right? On this ParlayPlay platform, so if you take a look here, right, this is a platform where they don't change your payout based on you selecting over versus under. And this is the same for PrizePicks, these fantasy sites. I call them fixed payout platforms. Like you can see here, I take over versus under. For any 2-pick entry, I'm getting a 3x payout, right? Over, under, over, under. If I want to switch this to a different pick in baseball, I'm still getting a 3x payout. Any 2-pick entry, you're getting a 3x payout. Any 3-pick entry, again, you're going to be getting a 5x payout, right? Doesn't matter what you select. So again, we have this good middle on with Taylor Heineke. We have him over 110.5 on ParlayPlay. On Underdog, do they still have his lineup? We can actually take a look right here. So some of these good betting opportunities, they're not going to last forever. So if we go back here, let's get rid of the MLB. And let's take a look at Taylor Heineke. They still have his line at 136.5. Wow. That is a really big middle. Under 136.5 on Underdog, over 110.5 on ParlayPlay. But anyways, essentially if you go through the math behind ParlayPlay, right, what you're going to see is for any 2-pick entry, again, they're just giving you a 3x payout. So for these 2-pick entries, right, you have to win your player prop over-unders, right? Like Corey Seager over-under half of a run. If you want to be profitable on ParlayPlay in 2-pick entries, you have to win your plays 57.74% of the time. So let's say we're winning our plays. Let me make a copy of this. Make a copy. Okay, so I can edit it. So here we have it here. Cool. So for these 2-pick entries, right, let's say I can win my player prop over-unders. Let's say you're pretty good, right? Like if you had no advantage, no edge, you would win your over-unders 50% of the time, right? It's kind of like flipping a coin. You're going to win 50% of your picks. You're going to lose 50% of your picks. If you let your grandma bet on Corey Seager over under half of a run, she doesn't really know what she's doing, right? She's going to be 50% to be right, 50% to be wrong. So let's say, though, you're pretty good at sports betting and you're able to win these picks 55% of the time. Your player prop over-unders, just like Seager over under half of a run. So you're winning these picks, just like this one, 55% of the time. You're only losing 45% of your picks, right? So that's pretty good. You're winning 55, losing 45. Your ROI playing 2-pick entries is going to be negative 9%. And again, this is literally just math. But I can actually share this. I'll just share this if anyone wants to take a look at it. So let me put this in the chat right here. Hayes bumped. Yeah, a lot of these got bumped. But anyways, let's go back here. So you're playing 2-pick entries. You're winning your picks like Seager over under half of a run 55% of the time. Your ROI is still almost negative 10%. That's horrible. Whereas for a 6-pick entry, you only have to win your picks a little above 53% of the time to be profitable. So just like this, if you can win your prop bets 55% of the time on ParlayPlay, for a 6-pick entry, your ROI would be 17.1%, winning 55% of the time. So if you want to play around with the numbers, you can just make a copy. I'm literally just taking ParlayPlay's payout structure, right? And then I'm converting it into what percentage of your picks, just like Corey Seager over or under half of a run, do you have to win to be profitable? And for 2-pick entries, it's 57%. For 6-pick entries, it's, 53.2%. So long story short, let's say you're pretty good at sports betting. You can win 55% of your picks, only lose 45. Your ROI is negative 10% for 2-pick entries. And then for 6-pick entries, it's 17.1%. Obviously a lot better. So that's why you have to be, like, it really matters on each platform how many picks you're going with, because it all boils down to win rate. So now it's kind of like, okay, how do we find profitable bets on ParlayPlay? And there's really 2 ways, right? One is obviously take advantage of these no-brainer promos. So like for Alyssa Thomas, just as a very simple example, you find a difference in where sportsbooks have their line set. So for Alyssa Thomas, right, every single sportsbook, let's put Alyssa Thomas back in. Every single sportsbook has Alyssa Thomas's line at 7.5 assists, right? You have all these data points. Betano is a data point. That's a big sportsbook in like Brazil. Even though you probably don't bet on Betano, it's still a data point. It's still a sportsbook that's invested a lot of money in their ability to set lines. The entire market is telling you, hey, this line should be set at 7.5, right? And ParlayPlay has the line at 5.5. So here, there's a discrepancy in where the line's set. So it's pretty clear, considering literally every other sportsbook has a line at 7.5, that Alyssa Thomas over 5.5 is a good bet, right? But the second strategy for being profitable on ParlayPlay, because again, it all boils down to winning over 53.2% of your picks, is you can just find spots. So let's go through an example, and then we'll get into some random picks. Then we can start gambling. But if we go over to here, and let's take a look at ParlayPlay. Let's see if there's anything available. And where is ParlayPlay? ParlayPlay. Right here. Where are you, baby? Just trying to figure out where it is. Let's just put in all sports books. I mean, whatever. So here we can see there's a bunch of picks. Is there anything on ParlayPlay? There is. So one of the plays I went with earlier today was Marcus Semien under 1.5 bases, right? So we know on ParlayPlay, all we have to do to be profitable long-term is win above 53.2% of our picks. Is if you look at every sports book, so like Caesars, DraftKings, Fliff, right? All of these sports books have the under heavily favored. So these books are telling you, hey, Marcus Semien, he's more likely to go under as opposed to over, right? Bet Online, a pretty sharp sports book, Bovada. All these books are saying, hey, the under's the favored outcome, right? So the under's more likely to occur. So it's above 50% to occur. He's either going over or under. So if the under's the favored outcome, the under's more likely than 50%, and the over is less likely than 50%, right? And you just need it to be 53.2% to be profitable on ParlayPlay. And you can see here, all the sports books have the under favored, right? Pinnacle has the under favored, pretty sharp bookmaker. So every sports book is telling you, hey, he's a lot more likely to go under as opposed to over. That's why this play is winning above 53.2% of the time. And again, like, you can just search for this stuff manually. You can pull up these sports books, look for spots where sports books have one side, either the over or the under, heavily favored, and play that on ParlayPlay. Again, this is a platform. They don't change your payout based on you selecting over versus under. So obviously, if every single sports book, all these billion-dollar companies with sophisticated models that are, moving around lines due to supply and demand, you can see there hasn't been much movement, but sometimes there is. You can see Bet Online bouncing around between minus 135 and minus 137. All of these books are telling you, hey, this guy's more likely to go under as opposed to over. So obviously, on a fixed payout platform, you'd rather take his under. His under is winning about 53.2% of the time, so it's profitable in a ParlayPlay entry. But anyways, let's get into some picks. Now we can kind of go to Underdog Fantasy. So again, more books you got, the better. Let's check out Underdog, and let's see if we can find any more good picks. And there's different strategies, right? Like, we middled this play on Taylor Heineke. We took him under 136.5, and we took him on ParlayPlay over 110.5, right? That's a huge discrepancy. If he ends up anywhere between those numbers, we win both bets. You know, one of the biggest strategies for sports betting syndicates like the sharp bettors is middle betting. It's doing crap like this, finding these inefficiencies in the market. It's not sexy. Take the over 110.5, the under 136.5. That's an absolute no-brainer. But anyways, let's go to underdog. Or we could start on PrizePicks. Let's see if they still have Chelsea Gray's line at 4.5. So we can go here. I think they did a bit ago, just like ParlayPlay. So maybe we start out on PrizePicks. Why not? So let's get rid of all this crap, which was just for the example. And you can see they bumped her down to 3.5. If you go back to the start of this video, this line was at 4.5 on PrizePicks. So these lines can move quickly. You're going to want to move quick to get in on some of these great betting opportunities. So anyways, maybe we go back to Underdog Fantasy. In my ParlayPlay video, we'll go back. And again, I'm just trying to do videos kind of covering these different sports books, explaining the benefits to having them, crap like that. So if we go back here, PrizePicks, so you can see like lines are moving. I don't know, maybe a player in the Sky game, maybe somebody got injured or something. I'm not really sure why lines are moving so much in this game. All sports books earlier today had Chelsea Gray's line at 4.5 rebounds. It's come crashing down to 3.5. And it seems like everyone's basically adjusted. So if we go here, what we can do is we can go to Chelsea Gray. Nope, wrong league. And again, there can be value in any market. This is all about just the data and the math. I follow a very data-driven approach. Some people don't. So here you can see like this play is sexy. All the other books have this line at 3.5. FanDuel has the line at 3.5 with the under heavily favored, right? So these are all data points. FanDuel is one of the biggest sports books. They're taking bets, moving around lines due to supply and demand. They have the line at 3.5 with the under favored. ParlayPlay and PrizePicks adjusted to 3.5. We're smart. We got them down. Underdog has the line at 4. This play is beautiful. So let's hit this under. So we already have her under 4.5, and I guess we have her under 4. We're about to have her. So what we could do next is, you know, Will Shepherd. So another strategy, and I mean this applies to any of these fantasy platforms, is try to find some correlation. So if we look at like, you know, college football, for example, let's just look at college football for a second, is maybe we can find some discrepancies in the same game. Wow, we have passing touchdown discrepancies. We got tons of crap. So sometimes what you'll be able to find is like if we're going to take, you know, a player under in receptions, it's ideal if you can find the quarterback under in like completions or something like that, right? Like obviously, if we want to take Mahomes over in week 1, probably makes sense to take Kelsey's over in week 1, right? Like these outcomes are positively correlated. Again, these are fixed payout platforms. You're always getting a 6x payout. It wouldn't make much sense to take Mahomes over and Kelsey under. Since you're getting the same payout, it's not like you get more money. Why would you take Mahomes under, Kelsey under? So that's called correlation. So sometimes you can find that in esports in a bunch of different leagues. So let me add in all this crap again. Let's actually just get rid of the NFL. We don't need to see NFL. NFL's a while away. Well, actually, there's preseason tonight. I don't know what I'm saying. Let's just go back to underdog. And let's look at everything and just see where the value is. Sometimes I don't love to bet on games that are super far away. So a lot of these plays I skip over, just preference. And you can middle bet them sometimes, but like you look at this play on Bible. Underdog Fantasy has his line at 2. There's no other sports books except JockMKT posting a line. They have his line at 1.5. So there's a discrepancy. That's valuable information for us as a sports bettor, but that doesn't necessarily mean I want to bet it, right? Because there's only 2 data points. But this play looks great, right? Kanya, every other book has his line at 7, right? Or 7.5. Underdog has his line at 8.5. It's like, what are they doing? Let's take the under. So that play seems beautiful. And then so does this play. Croco under 5, right? So here, every sportsbook has this line at 4.5. And again, all these books are data points telling us, hey, here's where the line should be set. And Underdog Fantasy is my most profitable sportsbook this year. A lot better than ParlayPlay. But again, what kind of sucks about ParlayPlay is they have relatively low betting limits. So you can see here we have 1 under, 2 under, 3 under. 3 unders, and we'll lock that in. 3 pick non-insured entry. So if you're curious how many plays to go with, so you can see this play right here. And I'll see if there's any questions. Sorry if anybody you know, has questions or anything they want to say. Trying to get better about that. But this article explains how many picks are optimal on each platform. I hate Alex. I just use my funds in a parlay play. Give me a underdog father. The sports books on OddsJam are better by far. Yeah, so like, you know, depending on where you're located, you'll have different sports books available. Underdog Fantasy, PrizePicks, these books are legal basically everywhere in the country, so I try to focus on them a bit. More Underdog. That shit bumped immediately. Can you help me create a 4-line PrizePicks entry? Sleeper 2-man finally cashed. Let's go. Candace partner been out for the Aces, so that could be the reason. Good call, Torrance. So like again, everything's baked into the market. Not always clear like why these lines are moving. So we got one slip down on Underdog, but again, that doesn't necessarily mean I'm gonna stop betting. So like if there's esports plays here, I mean this play's clear as day. All the other books have this guy's line at 37.5 or 38. Underdog has the line at 35.5. I mean, that seems good. And again, most bets aren't profitable, but out of the tens of thousands of lines on Underdog Fantasy, all these books are trying to set lines independently. Like, they occasionally screw up. And that's where we pounce as sports bettors. You only need 5 picks on Underdog Fantasy. So this play looks beautiful. Let's go to the WNBA. I can almost guarantee you this play is ridiculously good. And it looks like there's a lot of games today. So if we go here, we can go to the WNBA, and then we can go to player points, and we can take a look at Jewel Lloyd. So here, I mean, every book has her line at 23.5. Underdog has her line at 24.5. I mean, it doesn't really get much more clear than this. You have a bunch of billion-dollar companies with better models than you could ever imagine creating, telling you the lines should be at 23.5. Underdog has her line at 24.5. So we're going to take the under. Pretty clear. This play's not a lock. It's not guaranteed to win. It's just a play with an edge. And then we have Sparta over 7. So that seems good. And again, there's no positive correlation on this slip. It would be nice if we could find some positive correlation on this slip, but hey, there's not. So just kind of how it is. So I'm going to lock in this play. And a lot of people will say, oh, I think I'm smarter than the sports books, and that's great and all. And you can see this slip on Underdog Fantasy here. But you got to remember, like sportsbook odds, right? Oh, this play is insane on Fliff. I made a tweet about it. I don't know what they're doing. They are literally mispricing this line. They have better odds on or worse odds. Like, this is a discrepancy. If you look at Fliff, you'll see what I'm talking about. It's hard to explain. I think their model is screwing up. This is like an error, and it's a ridiculously good line, so you should probably bet it. But what I was going to say is, like, you know, books are constantly moving around lines. Like you can see right here, right? Like, based on where the action's coming in. If everyone starts hammering the Commanders to win the game, sportsbooks don't like risk. They like to make the VIG this spread. They want equal action coming in on both sides. Minus 110, minus 110, bet 11 to win back 10. Sportsbook wants equal action coming in on each side. So if everyone starts betting on the Commanders, the line will move towards the Commanders. So betting with your gut also means you think you're smarter than everyone else betting on the NFL. Because the sportsbook lines, right, these line movements are a result of where action is coming in the market, right? If all the action's coming in on the Commanders, the public, sportsbooks move lines towards the Commanders. So anyways, that's a really good play to go with. You can see there's some CFL plays on FanDuel. Anyways, damn, there are a lot of bets today. We got a good live stream going. So we can go back to Chelsea Gray. So on Underdog, you're going to notice they only give me $100 max bet sizes. Just kind of how it is as a sharp bettor. Some of these sports books, they try to cut you off which sucks, but hey, just kind of how it is. And what we can do is we can find some more bets. So college football starting this weekend. Couldn't be more excited. Again, I skip over some of these plays like Lucas. Over 9, PrizePicks has his line at 10. You only have 2 data points telling you where the line should be set, so I don't love those as much. Freshie, we already played. Some of these plays I've already played. Jewel Lloyd, we already played. Only $100 max bet size on Underdog, which is a little annoying. Here you can see there's a 50-yard or 13-yard middle in the CFL. Reggie Begelton, you can see right here, FanDuel has his line at 54.5. DraftKings is at 41.5. 13-yard middle. Hit the over 41.5, the under 54.5. That's a ridiculous play. So then we have Jimenez, under 1.5 bases. This play seems solid. We have Glory, over 10.5 kills. And we can go back here and we can take him over 10.5 kills. And let's get rid of the CFL. Let's get rid of college football. And let's focus on tennis and the main leagues. So I'm just refreshing, see if there's any new plays that kind of like pop up. Kong Yu, we already hit. So again, really it's not that hard to make money on these platforms. It's really just if you have a long-term focus, like, again, not every bet's going to win. What's one last play we could go with? Maybe we just go with Lucas over 9. Again, I don't love it, but whatever. Good enough. Here we have another 3-pick entry. So we'll lock this in as well. 1, 2, 3. And we got a lot of good irons in the fire. So again, we could sit here and bet all day. The market's always moving. That's the great thing about sports betting, why I love it so much. I used to get home from work, bet on sports all night long until I went to bed. Made good money doing it. There's so many sports books. There's so many strategies for making money. There's so many promos constantly going on. Easy value in the market, right? Just like this one on Alyssa Thomas. So you could do this stuff 24/7 and just print money, print money, print money. There's good bets on WinBet, college football line showing up. WinBet has the line at -110. Like, this is what's interesting, right? All sports books set lines independently. They all manage their own lines. So you're going to see here, Pinnacle, which is known to be one of the sharper or smarter sports books, they've ripped this line down to -133. Maybe the weather changed. Who knows, right? It's kind of just like the price of a stock. I don't know exactly why Facebook went down 2.55% today, but if you told me I could go back in time and sell all my Facebook stock at the start of the day, I would have done that. Because it's down 2.55%, and stock prices are based on the supply and demand of millions of people who wake up every day and their full-time job is to determine if stocks are too high or too low. Is the company valuable or not valuable enough? So it's kind of the same thing here, right? Like, the sports books have ripped odds towards the over. Maybe the weather changed, lineups changed, sharp action came in, everyone was hammering the over. A sports betting syndicate started pounding the over and moved the line from, -110-ish to -133. Who knows? But you can see you have 2 data points telling you, hey, this line should be at -130-ish. WinBet has it at -110. They haven't even adjusted their line, even budged their line. They're a dumb book. Hit the dumb book. -110. It's literally like how fragmented the sports betting market is. It's like having dozens of different prices for a stock, right? It's like Fliff is saying, hey, this stock is worth $130. Pinnacle, which is known to be a sharper bookmaker, they're telling you, yo, this stock is worth $133. WinBet has it worth $110. Seems like a buy on WinBet, right? It's not that complicated. And this is kind of how you think. Like, this is everything I learned as a trader for my entire career. Follow market information because it never lies. The data never lies. But anyways, there's some other good bets. But for now, we'll call it a live stream. Any questions anyone has, feel free to email me. Yeah, intern did mistype that. Yeah, we're looking into adding fantasy scores. WNBA is where you can definitely win money. Completely agree with the WNBA, but we'll call it a stream for now. Hopefully this was helpful. Just trying to do them on different sports books, explaining different strategies. Here's the underdog play again. We hit some good ones on underdog. And thanks so much for your time.